Peace FM 104.3. Good to meet you.
Kwame, there are a few things, perhaps today is not the day for me to say, but for instance, you yourself for the delay in provision of documents are EUCD Vegetia, E-Frewa, was on no court deal with my aim with it was found wanted. There are a few other things that have happened. For instance, no or pedoko leave me or far leave me nancy ewa.
I see.
Na letter na or they communicate the oko leave no. Indicating the letter there, Deputy Auditor General so and so and so no Oba act in his place, which is correct. But then he adds that by the deputy cannot represent him at any board meeting. And he really Audit Service Act now, what he was saying was not true or correct. He called our attention to it or said no penny one imagina. That I find difficult and I find strange. And I think it doesn't reflect the output, the kind of spirit and drive now. I may acknowledge there or and that is the kind of spirit and drive you need at that particular place. But once you distort it, Kwame, with maybe if you make the posturing or somebody.
Posturing.
I'm telling you the problem. This is the problem Kwame them give. The very moment you call my attention to that deficit, let me watch.
That's right.
Let me to make up. See, are you problematic? But then I will learn with the problems.
Of course. Yes, good.
The same thing. This deputy will act for me, but he cannot attend board meetings on my behalf.
How?
Do that. And you see, those of us who back him must have the courage to point out some of these discrepancies and deficits. We must. That is the only way I think you can make him a better administrator. The best. You see, I'm not one of those who's just going to go out there and shout and just hail, hail, hail. Mean to me, yeah. Where he's wrong, he must be told he's wrong. Now, as we speak, there's a case at the Supreme Court.
Which one?
One gentleman, I think Wilberforce. It's in the Supreme Court to raise issues, constitutional matter, on the board versus the Attorney General, the Auditor General.
Okay.
Chain him down. Because the Auditor General, yes, it's an office on its own. And the Auditor General is a very powerful person. But there is an audit service which has a board. Yeah. Of which the Auditor General is a member. It appears that Kwame, there are problems. For instance, there's another example. NICEA or constitute an audit review committee or implementation committee, which is for internal aid. In my composition, he determined it on his own, not in accordance with the Audit Service Act. You call his attention to it? No way. Now, if that goes out, then those of us who support him, some of us, yeah, you get embarrassed. But the others who say, no, leave him alone, let him do the right thing, what he's doing. Any color decisions you take relative to him. Yeah. And it's within this context I'm looking at this accumulated leave matter. Predictably, there are some who see it's an attempt to sack him, to drive him away because of all the problems he's had with the system. One minima, me lawyer, and I've been reading the Labor Act. I've been reading the appropriate provisions of the Audit Service Act. I've been reading the Constitution 1992, the relevant portions relative to the Auditor General and the Audit Service. Of course, the government threw in, I wish they hadn't done that though, they threw in the precedent of President Mills.
President Mills and Professor.
That of course has no legal basis, but I am president on the same in terms of administration. And it's true, Professor Mills in April 2009 asked then but the secretary, the Baako, he wrote that letter. and asked him to move on. Matisse Bimuso that time, Mr. Duajimai, during the retirement age and then or pension, it's all not true in terms of the text. Professor Mill's letter had nothing to do with pension or retirement. Straight away, or say you have accumulated 246 or so days until proceed on leave. But me say me abana inche me father president nka ehu. But Kwame, bottom line, me who there, perhaps this matter should be tested in the court of law. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's the Auditor General himself who should bother going, even though he could. But I think a citizen should test this matter because it is the Auditor General. The office, if it's like EC, it's shroud, within that body, the independent constitutional bodies, so that we don't rely on precedents subsequently.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was saying I wish they hadn't added that. We quote laws, of course. The government side, spokespersons and people have heard, letters I've read. They've quoted the Labour Act.
The Labour Act, yeah.
They've quoted the Audit Service Act. They've quoted the Constitution. The precedent was needless, in my candid opinion. It may sound well politically, but legally and constitutionally, I think it was needless. It ought not to have been brought in. But I think the age stage, this matter should be resolved at the courts.
Yeah. We should go to court.
Yes, I think we should get this matter interrogated, examined at the appropriate forum. Maybe the Supreme Court.
Of course, Supreme Court.
Maybe sir.
You know, the Supreme Court forum, so it's all to Danaikoha. They will tell you that what you have come to ask for interpretation is so plain.
Yeah,
but that is also
and don't forget, I was a casualty in that
yeah,
sense.
sure.
On the
Charlotte says,
if it was also part of the thing that came up.
Make case, on the state versus religion. Even though it dragged a while.
Case I made a court on Saturday.
You were told you know uncertain things.
Yeah.
Was actually also cited as one of the things to show that Army was getting ready to destabilize the MPP administration. Yes, case our court, Supreme Court, and also a sign of destabilization of the administration. Anyway, that's it.
Anyway.
Yes, but the point really.
Make your point, let's go.
Sincerely, because this would not be the first or the last. No, it's not that will be the last time, Such matters, you cure whatever mischief there might be in the appropriate forum. And I think we should test this case at the appropriate forum. It might be the Supreme Court.
Kwegu?
Maybe.
Interesting. I'm just throwing a little more light. What's the Auditor General said somebody should sit in for him?
Yes.
But had no business attending board meetings on his behalf.
It's a fact.
You know why?
Why?
Without the Auditor General's presence or his appointee, it disables the board.
Yes, exactly.
From meeting.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
So either the Auditor General or his rep must be present.
No board meeting.
So then there will be no board meeting.
Kwame Kroni also, in my absence, Mr. Benjamin Kujo, Deputy Auditor General, will kindly act as the Auditor General, except that he cannot represent me at the board.
How?
There's another one. In my absence, Mr. Blessed Bafuata, a Deputy Auditor General, will kindly act as the Auditor General. This one, he was traveling out, not leave, but cannot represent me on the board.
So how does he act as Auditor General?
Okay. There's another one, the same. And then his attention was called to this also. In my absence, this is in contrast with Section 6.5 of the Audit Service Act 2000 at 584, which states as follows: the quorum at a meeting of the board shall be 4, including the Auditor General, or in the absence of the Auditor General, the person acting on behalf of the Auditor General. This is the law. I mean, I don't see how anybody who is reading this law should write a letter to the effect there, act on my behalf, but on to my board meetings. You can't do that. And you see, we should have the courage, those of us who support him, and I'm one, and he knows. I want to be able to defend him properly, consistently, without any fear or favor. But when I'm confronted with such things, I have to be honest and say that no, this is a gaffe. It's as simple as that.
Anyway.
This FM 104.3. Who to me, Taki?